And so without further ado, let me hand you over to your match commentator, Jock Brown.
Thank you, Arthur. And the referee there is Ian Cathcart from Bridge of Allen, and the Blantyre Vs team lined up. There's a bit of confusion about the Blantyre Vs side because number 12, William Muldoon, plays, although he's been number 12, and number 6 is substitute, and that is Jerry Hamilton. So the team up there, some very experienced, well-known names among these players. William McVie at centre-half, Tommy Coggill at number 10, and Ian Kennedy at number 9, ex-Motherwell player. So there's William McVie, very experienced centre-half. Played for Motherwell, Hearts, Clyde, Toronto Blizzards. But this is his first venture into a Junior Cup final. Now the Baillieston line-up, as expected, there are no late surprises in that Baillieston line-up, and they've got one or two internationals on that side. They've got Jim Ross at number 9. But the most prolific Junior Cup player is Billy Patterson at number 10, making his 7th appearance in the Junior Cup final. So Baillieston in white on the right and Blantyre Vs in their blue strips. Conditions much improved from yesterday in the sense that the temperature has dropped considerably, and that'll make life much easier for the players out in the field. The pitch too looking in immaculate condition, and certainly ideal for a good display of football and development for junior football, which the crowd here at Ibrox is looking forward to enjoying. So it's Blantyre Vs who will start the match. They last won the cup here in 1970. Baillieston won it 2 years ago in 1980. And it's Vs looking for their 3rd Junior Cup. Baillieston looking for their 2nd. So a close-up of the ball in the spot. The referee synchronising with his 2 linesmen. And the match is underway. So you can see the Vs side very helpfully carrying their names on their backs as well as their numbers. Now that's the reason why number 12, William Muldoon, is wearing number 12, because these numbers were allocated in midweek by manager John Young, and they've had to remain that way before he made his last team selection. That's Jim Ross, number 9 for Baillieston, playing it forward. And battling for it there, number 4 is John Grant. And the free kick is given to Vs. Number 10, the earlier picture is Billy Patterson. He won 3 medals for Cambuslang Rangers, then one a couple of years ago for Baillieston. And there's Willie McVie, the Vs centre-half. Looking for Kennedy, but the challenge coming in was decisive enough. But it gives Vs the throw. So Mick Davenport is number 2. Bring it back to McVie. And there's Tommy Coggill. Now he wears number 10, but he'll play sweeper for Vs. A very experienced player. Now you've got a breaking from the back for Baillieston. He's got Batsy on the outside. McGlinchey intercepting. There's Muldoon. That's picked up in midfield by Doctor for Baillieston. Now Brian Mitchell. Vs pinning a lot of hopes on his intricate close control. So still Vs doing the pressing. Number 7 is Crawford Batsy for Baillieston. And the throw will be taken by Eddie McGlinchey for Vs. Brian Mitchell. Carefully body check there by Donaldson, and the free kick is given. And that's an invitation for Davenport to go into the Baillieston box. Willie McVie has stayed back. Brian Mitchell with the free kick. Cannon's off the wall. And Murdoch playing it back to his goalkeeper, Ronnie Lowry. Lowry, another experienced player. He went from Queen's Park to Rangers and then went back to Blantyre Vs, and he left Vs under something of a cloud about a year ago, a contractual dispute, which resulted in a transfer early in the season to Baillieston. Bapty using his strength, Muldoon coming in strongly, but the ball was already out. So a throw again to Vic. Mitchell being close to the mark by Donaldson right from the start. Jim Donaldson, the two number 11. Jim Donaldson, number 11 for Baillieston, a junior international. So Lowry again, fielding it to Murdoch. There's Bapty. Challenged very heavily by Muldoon again, and this time the free kick is given. There's Willie Muldoon. Started his career at Vic, then went senior to Hibs, suffered from a badly broken leg, went to Albion Rovers and then was reinstated. Donaldson's free kick, looking for Bapty. There's Ross round the back of the Vic's defence. And Baillieston win the first corner kick of the match. Ian Wotherspoon is number 6. And Baillieston have pushed the central defenders into the box. Bonds doing well to fist that out. Returned by Doctor. And the challenge from Davenport is enough to get the ball back to Barnes. Now Coghill. Chase there for Kennedy. Murdoch was there first. There's Kennedy again. The interception by Murphy. Nice great play from Coghill. Calming influence in the heart of that Vic's defence. Davenport. Pass just beyond Grant. But it's retrieved by McVie. Interception there by Muldoon. Going all by himself. A great effort from Willie Muldoon. And that was very close to the opening goal for Vic. A great towering run from midfield. Intercepting it in midfield, going forward, using Kennedy breaking to his right to the decoy, going straight to the middle. That left foot shot just going past Lowry's left hand post. So the relieved Baillieston keeper. The goal kick. Come inside by Bruce. Played on by McLaren. Well, that will certainly give Vic a lot of confidence to come forward. McQuaid taken from behind by Bruce. Bruce, the Baillieston left back. A tough handful this afternoon, and facing David McQuaid, the Vic's right winger. There's Willie B with the free kick. Ian Murdoch clearance. Here's Patterson. Doctor. McLaren forcing it forward, but returned by McGee from Muldoon. Now Grant. Davenport. Kennedy making a run up front. Released all the way across by David Murphy. And it is Murdoch. Jim Grant throwing it back to Coghill. Muldoon. Good interception from Bruce. Body check there by Davenport on Bapty. Baillieston have the free kick. Well, Vic found goals harder to come by in their march to final. They only scored 11 goals in their 7 matches, but Baillieston, on the other hand, have found the net 15 times. So you can gather from that, Vic have a defence which is very difficult to penetrate. Holding up in the wind, Ross doing well. The header in from Patterson. And that bit of indecision in the Vic defence almost put Baillieston ahead. attempt on each side so far. Muldoon for Vicks, Patterson for Baillieston. Still the scores are level, but 0-0. Tommy Coggle. Driven against Grant. Tackle from Bruce on McQuaid. McQuaid reinstated from Hamilton Ackies. Andy McQuaid. Kennedy leaping for that with Murphy. McQuaid again. Played forward by Doctor, but there's no Baillieston player far enough forward to trouble McVie. Now Davenport. From Bapty coming straight back to Davenport. A kick from Bapty. Muldoon tackled immediately before he could settle on the ball by Ian Witherspoon. Now Mitchell. Both sides taking some time to settle. McLaren. The man who's seen it all so often before, Billy Patterson. Bruce fighting it through the middle. A long chase there for Witherspoon, but Cockle in complete command of that situation. And now Willie McVie. Kennedy getting to that under intense pressure from Davy Murphy. Kennedy, a former Clyde and Motherwell player. So just past the 10-minute mark, still Blantyre Vs 0, Baillieston 0. Both goals having narrow escapes. Muldoon almost giving Vix the lead, and Patterson coming very close to the header for Baillieston. Good piece of running by Jim Ross, getting away from Grant. The cutback met by McVie. Now Paul Doctor. Ross is out of the game, just beyond the byline there. Staying off the field to avoid being offside is Jim Grant. Nobody working very hard in midfield for Vix. Bruce is capable of quite a long throw here for Baillieston. Clearance by Coggill. So Baillieston now recovering after a fairly shaky, nervous start when Vix appeared to seize the initiative, but things beginning to even out a bit more now as Baillieston get a free kick there for that push by Davenport on Ross. Jim Ross, number 9 there, the student internationalist. Being steadied from Airdrie. So Bruce and Ross over the free kick. McLaren in the box. All the way across towards Bapty. McVie is marking him. So Vix now content to calm things down by using their goalkeeper Robert Farm. 19-year-old goalkeeper, playing for Blantyre Celtic. That's an unusual transfer. Last season, as Tanya Lowry went to Baillieston. Bit of backing in there by Grant on Doctor, and the free kick to Baillieston. Ian Murdoch wears number 2 for Baillieston, taking the free kick, but operates up to the time as sweeper. Well, that must have been a call from Coggill. A bit of argument there between Burns and McVie principally. McVie was obviously asked to leave that high ball. Looked as though Coggill made the call, and McVie didn't attempt to hit it and almost let Patterson behind him. So McVie turning that into space for Coggill. Well, Vic, as I say, last won the Junior Cup in 1970 when they beat Pennycook after a replay. Before that, they won it in 1950, beating Cumnock 3-0. Baillieston's only success, that memorable final 2 years ago when they beat Benburg 2-0 after a 2-2 draw in the first match in Hampden. Good play in defence from Baillieston. Doctor lofting it forward. McVie heading it out. Bruce waiting for some movement. Provided by Doctor, but he was covered all the way back by Jim Grant. Another former Hamilton Accies player. So Bruce again lining up one of those long throws. Patterson coming off his marker. Doctor playing it in. Ross down for Patterson. Ross again. And that decisive tackle in the heart of the box is made by Muldoon. And that piece of mayhem sorted out by Eddie McGlinchey-Sims. There's some great touch play in the box involving Jim Ross. So he's already made his mark in this final for Baillieston. But the tackle which sorted things out there for Vic was from William Muldoon. So hold up now for a throw on the far side. The referee allowing some time for Tommy Coggill to recover. It appeared to stop a drive in the box. The Donaldson throw. Taken away by Muldoon. Right back by Murphy. And Baillieston now beginning to build up some momentum and apply pressure on the Vic defence, but this is Andy McQuaid in the break for Vic. The post cross, difficult one. Well, cleared there by Murphy. Ross winning the throw from Davenport. So Murdoch is a sweeper. Donaldson, wearing number 11, is marking the left wing danger man for Vic, Brian Mitchell, with Kennedy being marked through the middle by Davy Murphy. Bruce marking McQuaid, and Murdoch is a spare man. McLaren pushing into midfield. Grant holding off Doctor. But the throw goes to Vic. Bit of barging from behind by McLaren, the Baillieston skipper. The victim was little John McGurk. McVie's free kick. Kennedy going for that. He had to use an arm. Yes, handball against Kennedy. Free kick to Baillieston. Kennedy, the man who scored the semi-final goals, which earned Vic's final place. Two spectacular goals, and that's 2-1 semi-final victory at Douglas Park. So Lowry waiting for Kennedy to retreat the appropriate 10 yards. Coming off the head of Muldoon, but McGlinchey is there just in front of Wotherspoon. Donaldson with the throw. Muldoon turning it behind. So Muldoon has made a very important contribution both in defence and in attack so far for Vic. Coggill marking his near side post. Jim Grant, another smaller player on the near post. as the corner slices in. Davenport attacking the ball. McLaren back in. There's Ross. Here to come off Tommy Coggill, and that's another corner kick. So after that early spell of Vic's pressure, there's Baillieston in the attack again. Corner kick headed away, initially returned by McLaren. Ross driving against Coggill. Now the corner kick already taken. Alec McLaren again. There's Ross. Showing excellent control and just slipping at the wrong moment to allow Muldoon to break for Vic. Now McGutt. Off at Bapty of Baillieston, working hard in midfield on the right side. Just a reminder that number 12 does not mean that Vics have used a substitute, for those of you joining us late. Muldoon starting the match. Number 6 is Jerry Hamilton, and he's on the bench for Vics, along with Alan Ward. The subs for Baillieston are John Whiteford and Stephen Bullock. So Vics with the free kick. Fine tackle led by Donaldson, another internationalist. And Mitchell coming back to retrieve that situation after his other mistake. The former Notts County winger, with 3 seasons in England, returned to be reinstated. "20 minutes on the clock. Blantyre Vs 0, Baillieston 0. And so far, honours just about even. Although it appears as though Baillieston may just be on the ascendancy. Back to. Tackle from McGutt left the little midfield player with a knock. Here's Doctor for Baillieston. Bruce had set up in his run just a little bit early. Headed down from Davenport. Way towards Kennedy. Ryan Mitchell, number 11. So Vics have the throw again. They found a lot of difficulty, Vics, in working the ball through midfield. So they've got Grant, McGurk and Muldoon. Countered by Doctor, McLaren, Bapty. Ross coming back to help out. And so is Wallacepoon. Patterson brought down by Coggill. The referee there, Ian Cathcart, quite hard of the action. Tommy Coggill going back to his defensive beat. Ian Bonner. After playing that just behind Donaldson. A little lapse in concentration there on the part of Crawford Bapty. That gives Vics the throw. Here's Tommy Coggill. Missing out the midfield again, looking for Kennedy. Barber's header. And he lost been fouled from behind, gets the free kick. The referee in Cathcart is in his 9th season as referee, is third as a Grade 2 official. And with the Junior Cup final this afternoon, he must be harbouring some hopes of promotion to Grade 1 for next season when he would handle senior matches. McVie underneath that. Muldoon. Always willing to run at the Baillieston rear guard. Davenport. Kennedy holding off Murphy. And Doctor and Bapty combining to rob Jim Grant. Now Jim Ross. And Patterson taking up very intelligent position wide of the flank. Excellent tackle from Jim Grant. So this time to be taken by Paul Doctor. Patterson trying to come off his marker. Here's Jim Grant. Here's Doctor, driven against Muldoon. Good recovery, fouled. Doctor, he did that by McQuaid. So Andy McQuaid doing a lot of work backtracking to cover the Baillieston attacks from that left flank. And Jim Ross coming out to take a free kick. Very crisp kicker of a dead ball. Ross's free kick. There's Patterson, he can turn. And Davenport stood his ground well. Didn't dive into any rash tackle, and Patterson turning on the ball. Just couldn't get the room he needed to drive that. There's Rossi's free kick again. Played in there by Bapty. Now Patterson trying to turn. Davenport just blocking his path. The shot goes wide. Now Mitchell. Finding it very difficult to get past Jim Donaldson out on that left touchline for Vic by Mitchell. 25 minutes on the clock, still no scoring. This time Mitchell is fouled by Donaldson, protesting his innocence in the time-honoured fashion for footballers. Jim Donaldson, and as usual, changing nothing in the eyes of the referees. Mitchell fighting it in. Kennedy going to the near post. An excellent piece of covering that by Davy Murphy. Kennedy is very sharp indeed in that box. Tremendous acceleration. Murphy went with him all the way. Muldoon now to Mitchell. Can he turn past Donaldson? Well, he minds the turn, but he couldn't keep the ball in play. The Baillieston of the goal kick. Ronnie Lowry, Junior Scotland goalkeeper. Hasn't really been tested so far in the match, but he won't be complaining about that. Ian Murdoch. Good dummy by McVie and receiving Patterson. McVie once involved again. Nick Davenport. Murphy with his inevitable cover in the form of Ian Murdoch. McQuaid brought down rather crudely there by Ian Bruce. And referee Ian Cathcart will have a word in the ear of the Baillieston fullback. Well, the message once again perfectly clear. The Vic have the free kick. Andy McQuaid. Lowry has come for this. Not a very good punch there, Grant. Measured out by Murphy. So Davenport's header carrying out, and Baillieston have the throw. The throw to Ronnie Lowry has been cut off by Kennedy. But Bruce may have to throw it up the line. There he goes. Just skimming off the head of Paul Doctor to give Vic the throw again. McQuaid. taking away from Bruce, but Murdoch covering. Phil McQuaid willing to have a go at the Baillieston defence. Forcing Paul Doctor into that clearance. Jim Ross for Baillieston. Harried all the way by Grant. Well, not much doubt about that decision. And once again, referee Ian Cathcart keeping a very firm grip in proceedings. Now the midfield dynamo Jim Grant goes back. Ian Murdoch takes the free kick. Judged there by Muldoon. There's Ross looking for Patterson. Good piece of handling by Burns. Obviously Vic's had a huge problem to solve when Ronnie Lowry left for Baillieston, and they've done so by finding this young man. The cross now to Davenport. McGurk wants it through the middle. Looks for John there too. Well, that's tackling you come to expect in Junior Cup finals. Very hard indeed. And the referee in Cathcart forming the opinion that Jim Grant went over the ball in his tackle. So with the half-hour mark approaching, Jim Grant is booked. So here's a bit of mayhem which resulted in that booking. There's Grant going in much too heavily for the referee. Paul Doctor was the victim. And there's the result. Grant disputing something with the bench. McLaren trying to force his way through. Baptiste leaping for that. Mitchell to McGlinchey. Well, it's hotting up out there. With Baptiste the victim this time, Muldoon the offender. So a brief word is enough for the referee Ian Cathcart. Donaldson's free kick. Played on by McLaren. There's Patterson. He was onside. That was a great chance for Baillieston. There's a free kick thrown in there by Donaldson. Watch McLaren get the touch to play it right on there for Patterson, getting in behind Willie McVie. Burns off his line and it clips the top of the crossbar. So Billy Patterson must be thinking he should really have given Baillieston the lead. Great piece of positioning. With the header over the top and Vic's breathe again. So that puts Baillieston, as far as I'm concerned, 2-1 up on excellent chances. Still the score sheet is blank. So Davenport with the still for Vic. Kennedy taken away by Murdoch. McVie very determined getting to that with Patterson. Patterson penalised for trying to ease the big centre-half off the ball unfairly. Or rather, no, it's McVie who's penalised for pushing Patterson. The referee initially giving it the other way, but it's Baillieston free kick. Good play by Kennedy. And by McGurk. Back to Grant. Now McQuaid. Running at Bruce. Early cross this time, which is won by Donaldson. Donaldson again, intercepting that in front of Brian Mitchell. He's a very accomplished player this afternoon, Jim Donaldson. Taking his eye off the ball. You shouldn't say things like that. It invites mistakes on the part of the player that you're praising. Well, that looked very like a free kick. McLaren's tackling McGurk, but the referee is waving play on. Murdoch for Baillieston. And the goal coming off out of the Blantyre gives that to Baillieston. Crowd estimated at around 15,000 inside Ibrox this afternoon. Match switched here from Hampden. It's customary home owing to the fact that the match was switched to a Sunday. Coggle coming round behind his fullback McGlinchey to clear up. Very experienced player, played for Celtic, Kilmarnock, Hamilton Accies, Stranraer, and most recently, a couple of weeks back for Junior Scotland. Donaldson's throw. High header from McLaren. Ross was almost into that. 10 minutes to half time. Coggle again providing an option for Grant. Now McQuaid. And Murdoch's tackle penalised. Free kick to Vicks. So the box becomes crowded again, although the 6 defenders for Vic, Davenport and McBee haven't gone forward. McQuaid will take it. First time shot from Mitchell, that wasn't so very far away. He had no option to take that first time. But again, going wide of Braniolari's left-hand post. There's the free kick again. McQuaid sliding it across. Mitchell getting away from his marker to take that first time. Didn't quite get hold of it. Tommy Coggle. Davenport. And Murphy leaping above Kennedy to head that out. Murphy's had a fine match so far for Baillieston. In fact, the quality of the defending on both sides has been very difficult indeed for forward players. And Kennedy certainly not giving up. Ross, McLaren. Donaldson put under pressure there by Mitchell. O'Cafferty coming through that tackle from Grant. A very powerful player for Baillieston in midfield. Ross looking for Patterson. Great play from Coggill. Patterson almost made the space at that run for the pass from Ross, but Coggle read it superbly. And Mitchell playing it out. Lynchy content to use Coggle behind. Beyond Kennedy. Won by Murphy. These high balls into the box have cut little ice with the Baillieston defence. Muldoon. Good far post cross, Lowry coming for it and claiming it in commanding fashion, getting into a tangle with Mitchell. Good play from Davenport. Muldoon to McGlinchey. Mitchell. One with clearness. McLaren to Bapty, and now Donaldson. Witherspoon stopped there by McGlinchey. So the first half time running out. A little over 5 minutes left. Billy Patterson for Baillieston. Coggle losing out there as Patterson retrieves it. And Coggle forced into that recovery tackle, which has given Baillieston the corner kick. Billy Patterson is the Baillieston spearhead. Bapty going right to the goal line. Hit back to Doctor. McGurk is in very heavily indeed, and very late on Doctor. Doctor indicating that he's all right, but that certainly was a very heavy late tackle by little McGurk. I don't think the corner kick was intended to go so deep. Back it goes to Doctor. You can see McGurk arriving there as Doctor tries to play the ball. Doctor will take a breather, take the advantage of a little bit of treatment. There was some discussion among the Baillieston players. Worked the way to break down the defence. There's some young Baillieston supporters. Well, that's a happy sight to see. The Doctor appears to be all right. He was also a victim of that earlier tackle from Jim Grant, which got the Vicks player a booking. Now, Baillieston have something lined up. Ross denied any room to line up a shot. Doctor was inviting a run there from Billy Patterson. It didn't come, so Vicks can clear it up. Davenport. Breaking the ball off loose, falling for Davenport again. Kennedy with his shadow, Davy Murphy. Well, I certainly know that at all that both these sides have done their homework very thoroughly. Serve a tribute to the respective managers, John Young of Blantyre Vs and Russell Craig of Baillieston. John Young, a man who won a Junior Cup medal in goal for Cambuslang Rangers in 1969. Good play from McVie. He's not happy at all, Willie McVie, at the lack of movement in midfield. Shouting the odds. There you picture as Coggle tries to create something from the back for Vicks. Good layoff from Donaldson to Bapty. Muldoon's tackle not penalised as some of the Baillieston players thought it should have been. And this time it's McLaren who incurs the wrath of the referee. Obviously had some chipping there from McGurk, the victim, and McLaren indicating his lack of sympathy with the little Blantyre Vs players' views. The Vs have the Free kick. McLaren gets a lecture as the half-time whistle approaches. The score sheet remains blank. Billy Patterson encroaching on the 10-yard rule. That'll be retaken. I have the impression now that both sides may be content to go into interval and try to sort out their tactical battle of wits. There's Kennedy getting a touch to that. Just about the first time he's got to a high ball in the box in front of Dave Murphy, but he couldn't direct it accurately. So Baillieston have the goal. Pushing in the back by Muldoon. Referee checking his watch. That will tell him, I think, that there's a little over 30 seconds of the first half left. Donaldson with the free kick. Touched on with McLaren again. Patterson back to Ross. And McQuaid did a good job getting back to close down Jim Ross. He tried to flight it into the far top corner, but it's Vicks who have the goal kick. Robert Burns may well bring the first half to a close with this goal kick. We go into injury time now, and very little of that as referee Ian Cathcart brings the first half to a close. Blantyre Vs 0, Baillieston 0. An enthralling first half in which defences have undoubtedly dominated. There have been some superb performances among some of the defenders. David Murphy marking Ian Kennedy so well. Willie McVie doing an excellent job on Billy Patterson. Some close things. Patterson twice coming close with headers for Baillieston. Willie Muldoon almost shooting Vic's early lead. So far it's been a very entertaining, interesting first half, and we look forward to you.
The 1982 Scottish Cup final is Baillieston 0, Blantyre Victoria 0. As you can see, I've been joined by the Kilmarnock assistant manager, Davy Wilson, who in his earlier days, and I won't ask him how long ago it was, used to play for Baillieston. Davy, a comment, I think, on the game. A good start and then a little bit of stalemate towards half-time, I would say.
Yes, a few chances made, not taken, but at the moment I'd say Baillieston must fancy their chances at the moment.
I noticed that the boy Batsy, every time this number 7, this tall young fellow, gets the ball, it looks as if he could do things, and yet he's not really at the very centre of things.
No, he's probably the youngest player in the Baillieston team, and he is the one that who he could command everything, really. Big boy, wins it in the air, good tackler, and he's a strong runner. He will be the man in this half, I think, that will put Baillieston in front.
Yeah. Now you've a lot of good work coming from the Blantyre midfield. I'm thinking particularly of Grant and Muldoon, who are doing things, but the boys up front don't seem to be quite latching on to that midfield service, maybe.
Well, I would think that's due to the back four of Baillieston. They don't look like being broken down. And Lowry and goals are just everything that's came across. He's picked it out of the air, and that's been the reason why that they haven't looked like scoring.
How would you say the pattern of the game is likely to go in the second half, Davy?
I would say at the moment, looking at when it finished there, that John Whiteford, the substitute for Baillieston, must come on in the second half, because Billy Patterson, who's been a thorn in the flesh of the Blantyre Vs defence, needs someone to play with him. And Jim Ross, who looks a good player but might be a midfield player and not a striker, so that's why I think that John Whiteford must come on for Baillieston.
Well, there was one moment in the first half which we're going to see now, which I think we could safely say is Baillieston's best chance coming up now. It came from a free kick situation, David, so let's take a look at it.
This was really a good chance. It was a flick back, and Billy Patterson, I think, had his eye on the goalkeeper as well as the ball here. He usually puts these chances away, and that, I think, Billy will be thinking later on tonight that he should have scored with that one.
I would say Patterson very much the danger man for Victoria to watch here.
Well, if Willie McVie doesn't come to terms with Billy Patterson, that could be the end of the game for Blantyre Vs.
Well, he's a remarkably talented player when you think of what the 7th Scottish Junior Cup final. He's been around a long time, but the edge is still there, clearly.
Yes, he's made a few chances as well today for his other players, and they haven't been taken. But after 7 cup finals, we should expect this from Billy.
Yes.
But I think he will be a big part to play in the second half.
Right, well, let's leave it there. Let's take another break here, and when you rejoin us here at Ibrox Stadium, it'll be for the second half of the 1982 Scottish Junior Cup Final. Welcome back to Ibrox Stadium, and you're just in time for the reappearance of the Baillieston team. And just having a quick look out to see if they have in fact made a substitution. Davy Wilson thought that they might bring on John Whiteford. So far that doesn't seem to have happened. And out come Blantyre Victoria, and as the Vics come out, it's back to you, Jock Brown.
Thank you, Arthur, and John Whiteford and Stephen Bullock, the Baillieston subs, are in fact coming back into the dugout after warming up. I think we may well see one of them very early on. There appears to be no change either on the Vic side. And it will be very interesting to see the effect of the half-time talks involving Vics manager John Young and Russell Craig of Baillieston, because there was certainly a feeling that stalemate was prevailing towards half-time. The sides were cancelling each other out very well indeed. And there's Billy Patterson, the danger man for Baillieston up front, alongside Jim Ross, who's the man who scored more goals than anyone else to take Baillieston to this stage in the competition. He scored 4 goals on the way to the final. Patterson only scored once, remarkably enough, and there we go for the second half. A reminder that Baillieston are in white, Vics in blue. And Jim Grant forcing it forward. Missed by McQuaid, but not by Bruce. Another of the many players reinstated to junior football was played for Stranraer. Coghill content to allow Robert Burnell to settle into his new goal. Forced forward there by Bapty. Eddie McGlinchey will take the throw. Mitchell getting away from Donaldson. That's been no easy task this afternoon. Field now, they headed on by McQuaid for Kennedy. Splendid save by Lowry. And again he has to go for that ball. So the Baillieston Scotland junior goalkeeper earning his spot. Played in there by Mitchell. Found its way towards McQuaid. That's a great headed pass beyond the Baillieston defence. Kennedy with a clear shooting chance. And looking at it again, he might well have done better direction towards the corner. So first blood in terms of chances to fix in the second half. Coghill sweeping that free kick forward. Kept in by Donaldson for Grant. Witherspoon battling hard for it. Now McGlinchey. Kennedy. Grant. Back it comes to McQuaid. His covering was good enough. He couldn't get in the shot properly. It was Ian Bruce who made the tackle. Well, a very fast start to the second half. And the crowd fairly warming to this. Davenport. Now Ross. Tackled instantly by Grant. McQuaid going through and running straight into Murdoch, and Kennedy was offside. Well, the man who got both the goals that beat Rob Roy in the semi-final, starting the second half in very eager style. He couldn't get it past this man, Ronnie Lowry. Pushing by Muldoon on Bapty. towards us with the free kick. Looking for Bapty. It's Patterson. Coggle closing him down quickly. Mitchell carrying it out, indicating that he thinks he was pushed by Donaldson. Davy Murphy. Patterson feeding it back to Bruce. Claren finding Ross in space. Donaldson racing up on the overlap. Just couldn't get to it. Two number 11s that get together again. Lynchy being hustled all the way by Witherspoon, and the little Baillieston player gets his reward in the form of a corner kick. Burns organising the defender. That's Bapty jumping up and down the line. Witherspoon's corner kick. Headed away by Davenport. Dick sprinting out of defence. Tommy Coggill. Muldoon's got in behind Murphy. And Muldoon very angry indeed at that. Foul by Murphy. Appeared to be breaking clear of the Baillieston defence. He was pulled down, and that foul is earning Davy Murphy a booking. Coggill playing it forward. There you see Muldoon getting in behind the Baillieston defence. Murphy pulled him down, and he's the second player now to be booked. Referee insisting that free kick is pulled back. So Lowry organising the wall, rising 5 men. Just before, one putting off. Kennedy just hovering on the edge of the wall as Grant drives it against McLaren. McQuaid. That's a good piece of play to go past Bruce. Donaldson turning it behind. It was just too high for Kennedy, that cross. So now it's Vic's turn to pile on the pressure. Jim Grant, the first player in the match to be booked, the first half. On Paul Doctor. Near post ball, it's well won in there by Donaldson. V's in the box this time for Vic. Good ball from Ross to Patterson. Baptiste through the middle. And once again, Coggill intercepts. Ross retrieves it for Baillieston. Now Patterson. A disappointing cross at the end of all that. Not troubling Robert Burns in any way. So Patterson still looking sharp and alert up front for Baillieston. They suffer, for my money, from lack of support. He's depending on Ross and Witherspoon getting up quickly to support him, but these players are frequently pulled back into midfield. Bapty holding off Mitchell. Lynchy to Muldoon. Witherspoon finding Ross. McLaren taking too long to decide what he's going to do with that, and allowing McVie to make the tackle. Mitchell. McLaren playing the captain's role, coming back to tidy that up. More than 10 years service of Baillieston, Alex McLaren. Donaldson touching it back, and with the pace of Kennedy close at hand, that's a fraction dangerous.
Up you go, Wally!
Blantyre's pass back. Ross taking that from Grant. Here's Patterson. Coggle trying to block his pass, and he's done it successfully. Well, Coggle playing a real captain's role at the back for Blantyre Vs. He was very much exposed there by that pass from Jim Ross to Patterson. Patterson running at him at full tilt. Coggle reacted just about right to block the Baillieston striker and keep Vix in the match. Bruce with the throw on the far side. Ross looking for Witherspoon. Baptie's arriving late in support. Trying to chip that beyond McGlinchey. Again, Coggle timed the tackle perfectly. Good play between Muldoon and Coggle. Mitchell caught his heels as Donaldson intercepted that pass. Donaldson waiting for Baptie to get into position for the long throw. Jim Grant. Murphy has his sweeper brother to assist in escorting that back to Lowry. Witherspoon. Baptie now to Ross. So Muldoon with that uncompromising tackle on Baptie. Gives Baillieston the corner kick. McLaren coming for the short one. Right under the crossbar and well taken by Burns. So that's starting on the short corner kick. Witherspoon to McLaren. Now just watch how much pressure the goalkeeper's under with this cross. Tall figure of Crawford. Baptie's right on the line, but Burns takes it cleanly. Bordler coming through for Baillieston. Patterson thumped from behind by Davenport. He is bigger than Ian Bruce. Baptie gets a touch. Davenport under pressure from Ross. And Ross appears to take a knock, although it's a goal kick to Vix. Becoming decidedly overcast now here at Ibrox. Patterson again, stopped by Davenport. Kennedy looking for Brian Mitchell, but the little winger had come inside. So the substitutes warming up for Vix. Jerry Hamilton and Alan Ward. And Ian Wotherspoon is penalised for backing into Eddie McGlinchey. McGlinchey's free kick. Kennedy going for it. Sean Murphy. And Davenport with enough pace to keep Patterson at bay. The longer this match goes, of course, the question of stamina will come into things. We're going to the final half hour of the match. Still the deadlock remains unbroken at 0-0. Cargill capitalises in that original miskick. The Doctor bringing down McGurk. John McGurk has recovered fully. And Willie McVie will take the free kick. Kennedy again the target. Mopped up easily by Lowry. That's a careless throw out. There's Mitchell. And Lowry redeems himself fully. And obviously did not welcome a bit of criticism there from Jim Donaldson. There was Mitchell intercepting, going past Donaldson. Lowry very quickly out to meet him. A lot of courage there on the part of the goalkeeper. It's won a free kick as it happens. Mitchell losing control of the ball as he tried to take on Donaldson. Just down by Ross for Wotherspoon. Grant in trouble. Wotherspoon has Ross and Patterson ahead. There's Patterson. Now what's that at the edge of the box? Well, the tackle was by Davenport, but there's no free kick given. Kennedy leaving that for McGurk. McGurk allowed to continue by the referee. And it goes towards Muldoon. Turned behind by Bapty for the corner kick. Well, that was a moment of controversy at the other end. Patterson trying to turn away from Davenport right on the 18-yard line, went down. And all the appeals for either a free kick or a penalty were waved aside by the referee. Mitchell's corner kick. Doctor attacking the ball and gets it forward to Ross. Bapty still operating on the right side of midfield. Ross, an excellent distributor of the ball. Murphy now springing with the back. Stopped in his tracks by McGurk. And here's Cargill. Misunderstanding there between Mitchell and Davenport. Decisive tackle again coming from Tommy Cargill. Kennedy without support, and McLaren is able to turn it back. Bapty coming deep. Wotherspoon tackled by McGlinchey. McVie coming across. And Vic gets the throw. Hold up for some treatment for one of the Baillieston players, and there will also be a substitution for Blantyre Vs. Number 13 is Alan Ward. No sign yet of the man to come off. In fact, it's going to be Mick Davenport going off. Alan Ward, the former Queen of the South player, goes on, and he will be a direct replacement. He can play anywhere in the back four, Ward. So I think he'll slot straight back to right back. But there'll still be a hold up for some treatment on the field. Looks as though that's Davy Murphy that's getting some attention. The Baillieston subs haven't appeared yet. And Murphy is all right. Due to a very sad loss to the Baillieston cause, he's played very well at centre half against Dean Kennedy. There's Kennedy deep. Mitchell taken late by McLaren. 20 minutes into the second half, and McLaren goes into referee Ian Cathcart's book. McLaren becomes the third player to be booked. He was the captain of the Baillieston Cup winning side 2 years ago. He certainly made it clear he's determined to make it a double. Baillieston only won one Scottish Junior Cup in their history, but they've lost twice in the final, in 1924 and in 1965, when they lost 4-1 to Linlithgow Rose. So midway through the second half, Baillieston 0, Blantyre Vs 0. Murder for Baillieston. Long kick out from Lowry. Well run by Bapty. Coggle getting it before Patterson. Andy McQuaid. Allowing Grant to take over. A better build up from Vic. Jack's playing it forward to Ward. But the throw goes to Baillieston. Taking his own time to go out, allow Bruce to throw. Well, I'm sure there'll be a free kick for that. Alan Ward is the man who was climbing all over his man to get to that, and the free kick is given. Jim Ross was the victim. Bruce for the free kick. He wants it.
Have you guys John?
Billy Patterson. Well done clearing. For the last two occasions in which these sides made the final, replays were required, and that situation is looming large again. Baillieston taking 2 attempts to beat Benburn 2 years ago, and Vic took 2 attempts to beat Pennycook in 1970. Before we have a replay, there will be half an hour's extra time this afternoon if the teams are still level. Bapty to Wotherspoon. Coggle's little shuffle, creating some space for the clearance. Picks up the throw. Tommy Coggle was manager John Young's first signing when he joined the club as manager. I could scarcely have made a better one. Wotherspoon's tackle on McGlinchey, forcing Vicks to start it all over again from the throw-in position. McGlinchey, one of 4 Vicks players who had senior experience with Hamilton Accies. Jim Grant, Danny McQuaid, Billy Patterson, the others. Grant loose in very quickly on McQuaid. Patterson jumping there with McVie, but the centre half is the winner of that little joust. Oh, here's Bapty coming in the blind side. Lynch and Muldoon combining to stifle that threat. Stopped up to Ross. Bruce. Patterson holding off McVie. Now Ross. And Bruce slicing that long range effort. Less than 20 minutes left, still no scoring. What might now depend on the strength and stamina in the respective camps. Tangle of legs there, resulting in a free kick to Blantyre Vicks. Donaldson penalised. Brian Mitchell with the free kick for Vicks. Lowry's going for it. Excellent piece of goalkeeping. Mopping up again. Grant in quickly and McLaren. Muldoon setting off on the run on the left. Well, that's a bad ball from Grant. Easily picked up by McLaren for Wotherspoon. Grant getting back. Now McGlinchey. Coggle always available at the back. Good lead that by Kennedy. He's got the pace to do it by himself. Choosing to try to link up with McQuaid. And the Baillieston defence closing in. To get it back to Roy Lowry. Lee's header. Breaks from McQuaid to Doctor. Murdoch going across and a sweeper roll. That spot of wrestling between McVie and Patterson resulting in a free kick to Baillieston. This might just be Willie McVie's last match as a player because he's been struggling all season with a bad knee injury. And there's some doubt as to whether it would stand up to another full season. So Ward this time marking Patterson. Lewis playing it in. Ward students inviting Kennedy to chase. The breeze blowing the ball out on the near side. Ward got to that first. The wind carrying the ball away from the fixed goal for that moment. Playing it forward, brought down from behind. Now Paul Doctor could be in a lot of trouble here. Now, Paul Doctor is in trouble again for this challenge. You see him backtracking on McGurk. McGurk played the ball, took the tackle late. Now this could be very serious indeed for Paul Doctor. Well, the yellow card is enough. So he was the victim when Jim Grant was booked in the first half. Tommy Corgill lining up the free kick. Kennedy playing it into the box. The flag goes up for Brian Mitchell. Good first time layoff that from Kennedy, but Mitchell was just on the wrong side of the defender, and the flag goes up instantly on the far side. Cargill's header beyond McLaren. Now Mitchell. Ward. The time pass running out. Both sides, I'm sure, looking for a little flash of inspiration from one of the forward players to turn the game. There's McGurk. And that's a great goal for Blantyre Vs. John McGurk is in the lead. And the flash of inspiration that I mentioned was delivered right on cue. 13 minutes left for play. Just look at this again. Marvellous goal from McGurk. There's Muldoon lighting it forward. McGurk going for it, taking it with the left foot of the volley, and Lowry did very well indeed to reach it. So John McGurk puts Vicks right in the driving seat. There's 13 minutes left. And a goal of real quality to separate the sides. There's the clock and the scoreline. And the crowd has burst to life. McGurk, the man who was originally fouled, remember, by Paul Doctor to get the free kick from which all that action started. And now Mitchell. Witherspoon trying to get back. Mitchell screening the ball, and the hustling by Witherspoon gives the free kick to Vick. John McGurk is the Vick's longest serving player. He's only been there 4 years, but he's the longest serving player in the staff at the moment. Can hardly keep the smile off his face, I think. That goal will be something he'll remember and treasure for a very long time. Great turn from Witherspoon. Grant sidestepping Bapty. Off his clearance to McLaren, and how Baillieston now need his inspiration from midfield. They'll need something from Billy Patterson. Just dwelling in the ball too long, allowing Grant to get back and help out Ward. And you can see a spring in the step of these Vix players suddenly after looking increasingly tired as the match wore on. Baillieston now have to go on all the reserves of courage and strength to get back in the match. He's headed out by Coghill. There's Kennedy. Muldoon. McGurk has gone forward. Well, it's been clipped from behind by Muldoon. Good piece of refereeing by Ian Cathcart, right on the spot. And a lot of strength in that one from McLaren. Coghill making a tackle. The two captains together. Coghill wins that particular battle. Now Kennedy. 10 minutes left. Baillieston 0, Blantyre Vix 1. John McGurk, the scorer. And what can Baillieston do about it? Muldoon penalised for that tackle from behind on Bapty. McLaren's in a hurry. Bapty had his eye off the ball. Andy McQuaid. High ball in for Kennedy. And Muldoon. Mitchell. Grant playing it wide. Cross well cleared, but it's Bapty who has to get to that before Muldoon. Oh, what a great end to a career it would be for Willie McVie if he could pick up a Junior Cup winners' medal. McQuaid now tackled by Bruce. Alan Ward with a throw. Well, Kennedy won't be complaining about that. So Vic still clinging to that precious goal from John McGurk. Ian Murdoch, the Baillieston sweeper, trying to build something from that deep position to get Baillieston back in the match. Patterson, now Doctor. Coming away from McGurk, and from Coghill is a great cross. There's Bapty! So close to the equaliser. Power in the air of Crawford Bapty, almost giving Baillieston an equaliser. The build up on the left, Doctor did all the hard work. He got away from McGurk initially, he then got away from Coghill. There he goes past him now. The cross found Bapty arriving very late. There he is, number 7. The header appeared almost to cannon off the fixed defender Willie Muldoon. Yes, it's a corner kick on the far side, but there'll be some treatment first. There's Muldoon at the back. He was the saving hero for Vix. He's also the man who laid on the goal for John McGurk. Ian Witherspoon is down. Crawford Bapty taking a chance to use the sponge. And Vix pulling every man now back into the box. Jim Ross will take the corner kick. Crowded goal mouth, and the header just glancing wide. It was from Paul Doctor. very difficult indeed to get a good powerful header in that crowded box. For 6 minutes left. Baillieston throwing in all their reserve of stamina to make a big late push for the equaliser. Well, Jim Grant heading that out. He just has not stopped running from the first whistle. Heading it across. McGurk clearing it. McLaren trying to find room for the cross. Just headed away there by Ward. That was a very important interception with Ross coming in behind him. Murdoch. Murphy. Donaldson. 5 minutes left. Baillieston 0, Blantyre Vs 1. McLaren staying in a forward position for Baillieston. Committing everything to attack, as he undoubtedly must. Donaldson to McLaren, back it goes to Bapty. And the referee not happy with that tackle from Bapty, suggesting that the studs were shown too clearly to Jim Grant. Dangerous play as the decision of front by the referee, lifting his left arm to indicate an indirect free kick, which will be taken by Tommy Coghill. Grant lofting it forward, Lowry watching the bounce carefully. Now 4 minutes left. McLaren to Donaldson. There's Patterson. Forward for Witherspoon if he can get the shot on. And no luck at all for the little Baillieston man. What a super build-up that was. There's Patterson laying it off. Number 6 Witherspoon already on the run. He's got away from Lynchy and Coghill. The shot rising all the time, just shaving the bar. Oh, how tough can you find your luck running? Well, the indication's perfectly clear, that's cramped. Tommy Coghill, who's certainly beavered away at the back for Vix throughout the match. Suffering from a little bit of cramp at the back of the leg. We'll run through that, I'm sure. There's the scorer of the only goal so far, John McGurk. Now Ross, getting away from Ward and being fouled in the process. Baillieston's free kick. Ward's job since he came on the field has been to mark Jim Ross. And that has made a big impression on the run of the game, because in the first 20 minutes or so of the second half, Ross looked to be the key man for Baillieston. Headed away by Ward again, and the long range out from Bruce carrying over the top. Oh, good bit of thinking that by the Vix manager John Young, putting on Ward as a marking role on Jim Ross, and Ross hasn't been so evident since then. 2 minutes left. Bruce with the header. Ross again tackled by Ward. There's Bapty. Falls out for the throw to Vix. And the big supporters around the stadium starting the whistling for full time. It's a bit premature though. Just over a minute left for play, plus any injury time. Robert Burns taking all the time he can with this kick out. Kennedy getting it back to McQuaid. There's Kennedy, Muldoon waiting in the middle. And Lowry's very sound on these cross ball. He was bumped by Muldoon as he caught it. So Lowry's on the deck, Muldoon is going to be booked. Certainly a bit careless and reckless with that challenge, as we'll see in a moment. There's a cross from Kennedy, Lowry underneath it, and Muldoon charging into his path. Yellow card for Willie Muldoon. 10 seconds of the 90 minutes left. Although there will be some extra time added on now for sure after Ryan Lowry taking that knock. So we're now into injury time. With Baillieston now running out of time to save the match. Hear the whistling round the ground. Coggle's header, Ross is on the ground. McVie heading it powerfully out. Mitchell inside to Grant. Mitchell is onside, but Kennedy wasn't. And the game will have to stop for a free kick to Baillieston. Kennedy mistimed the forward run, although Mitchell it was who had possession. Ian Murdoch in a hurry. There's the Vic's bench. Eddie McLean and physio there in the front. And that's the final whistle. Blantyre Vics have won the Scottish Junior Cup. And the celebrations begin. John McGurk, the goal scorer, mobbed by his teammates. The manager, John Young, coming out now to greet his players. There's McGurk, the goal scorer. Still accepts the congratulations all round. And a very sporting response too from Baillieston, who must be extremely disappointed. John Young greets his skipper Tommy Coggill, who played such a vital part in the defence for Vics. Long hair man there is Russell Craig, just out of your picture on the right. The Baillieston manager. The Vics match secretary Dally Duncan coming out onto the field also. Willie McVie getting a pat on the back for his contribution. The referee, Ian Cathcart, being congratulated along with his linesman. Ian Cathcart having a very good match as referee. John Young still congratulating his scoring hero, John McGurk. 19-year-old keeper Robert Burns, his first full season goal for Vics. There's Russell Craig with John Young, just going out of your picture again. Robert Burns saluting the supporters as Vics come forward to collect the trophy. Jim Grant still saluting the supporters. And there they are, the contingent of Vic supporters in the stand. The blue and white favours. Tommy Coggill coming forward to accept the Scottish Junior Cup. Lord Willie Blaney of the Scottish Junior FA. The man presenting the trophy is Ian Nelson of the sponsors Drybrough. All the photographers crowding round to take the picture of Tommy Coggill and Ian Nelson with the Scottish Junior Cup. The blue and white favours already on the trophy. The Vic supporters celebrate again. The captain is Tommy Coggill. passing the trophy back. The Vics players come forward for the medals. Andy McQuaid, then Brian Mitchell. John McGutt gets a special cheer of his own for that great goal. Along the line it goes from Eddie McGlinchey to Mick Davenport. The substitute, Alan Ward, who did that marking job late on, and Jim Ross. Ian Kennedy, centre forward, so well marked throughout the match by Davy Murphy. Willie McBee, the Vic centre half, a real personality among the Blantyre fans. Jim Grant, who did so much in midfield. Willie Muldoon, another of the Vic heroes for my money, both in defence and attack. The somewhat used Jerry Hamilton. So the Vic players have received the medals. It only remains now in presentation terms for Baillieston to come forward. They're getting a very good round of applause. Alex McLaren, the sorrowful figure, leading them to the rostrum, followed by Ronnie Lowry, who could so easily have been in the opposing camp. So disappointed Baillieston players take the medals. Jim Ross, Billy Patterson, Alex McLaren. So as the Baillieston players collect their losers' medals, let's go over now to Arthur Montford for a final summing up with Davy Wilson.
Tremendous goal to win it at the end of the day.
A great goal. The game's about making chances and taking these chances, Arthur. A lot of chances made today, but weren't finished off. That was the killer instinct in the goal. Here we are. The ball will come across to Muldoon in a minute or two.
And it looked as if, at this point, as if Vics had perhaps lost the momentum here. But then they just kept on going.
This is a killer pass, this one. This really killed. And the finishing was lethal. One-touch football, and that's what's won the cup for Blantyre Vic.
Marvellous. Well, there are the great scenes of jubilation. Blantyre Vics have waited a fair number of years for this particular moment. And at the end of the day, they've won it by 1-0. That John McGutt goal in 78th minute doing the trick. David, did you enjoy the game finally?
A game that missed chances, Arthur, spoiled it a bit for me. If the chances had been taken, the game could have been 4-4 maybe. Yeah. But as I say, the game's all about taking these chances. Blantyre took the one chance that they really had in the game, and Baillieston must be saying to themselves, well, what have we got to do to score?
I thought that it was rather nice at the end that the Blantyre Vics fans and the players applauded Baillieston up for the runners-up medals. It reflected, although it was a hard game, it reflected a nice atmosphere, Davy.
Yes, a lot of bookings, but not a dirty game, and I think that the referee must come in for a lot of respect in this game, because he really stamped his name in this game.
Right, Davy Wilson, thank you very much. So there are the happy pictures here at Ibrox Stadium. Just to remind you, your next big live date on this channel is Tuesday the 15th of June. And I don't need to tell you what that game is. It is, of course, from Malaga, the Rosaleda Stadium, Scotland again. So it is just to remind you, Blantyre Victoria 1, Baillieston Juniors 0, John McGutt getting the only goal of the game. On behalf of Jock Brown and Davy Wilson, this is Arthur Montford saying thank you very much indeed for being with us. And from all of us at Ibrox, goodbye for the present.
Great move again from Celtic. And well might McCluskey celebrate. congratulating his scoring hero John McGuck. 19-year-old keeper Robert Burns, his first full season in goal for Vich. There's Russell Craig with John Young just going out of your picture again. Robert Burns saluting the supporters as Vix come forward to collect the trophy. Jim Grant still saluting the supporters. And there they are, the contingent of Vix supporters in the stand. The blue and white favours. Tommy Coggill coming forward to accept the Scottish Junior Cup. Not Willie Blaney of the Scottish Junior FA. The man presenting a trophy is Ian Nelson of the sponsors Drybrough. So the photographers crowding round to take the picture of Tommy Coggill and Ian Nelson with the Scottish Junior Cup. The blue and white favours already on the trophy. The Vix supporters celebrate again. The captain is Tommy Coggill, passing the trophy back. The Vix players come forward for the medals. Andy McQuaid, then Brian Mitchell. John McGuck gets a special cheer of his own for that great goal. Along the line it goes from Eddie McGlinchey to Mick Davenport. The substitute Alan Ward did that marking job late on, and Jim Ross. Ian Kennedy, centre forward, so well marked throughout the match by Davy Murphy. Willie McVie, the Vic centre half, a real personality among the Blantyre fans. Jim Grant, who did so much in midfield. Willie Muldoon, another of the Vic's heroes for my money, both in defence and attack. The somewhat used Jerry Hamilton. So the Vic players have received the medals. It only remains now in presentation terms for Baillieston to come forward. They're getting a very good round of applause. Alex McLaren, the sorrowful figure, leading them to the rostrum, followed by Ronnie Lowry, who could so easily have been in the opposing camp. So disappointed Baillieston players take the medals. Jim Ross, Billy Patterson, Alex McLaren. So as the Baillieston players collect their losers' medals, let's go over now to Arthur Montford for a final summing up with Davy Wilson.
Tremendous goal to win it at the end of the day.
A great goal. The game's about making chances and taking these chances, Arthur. A lot of chances made today, but weren't finished off. That was the killer instinct in the goal. Here we are. The ball will come across to Muldoon in a minute or two.
And it looked as if, at this point, as if Vix had perhaps lost the momentum here. But then they just kept on going.
This is a killer pass, this one. This really killed. And the finishing was lethal. One-touch football, and that's what's won the cup for Blantyre Vix.
Marvellous. Well, there are the great scenes of jubilation. Blantyre Vix, they waited a fair number of years for this particular moment. And at the end of the day, they've won it by 1-0. That John McGuck goal in 78th minute doing the trick. David, did you enjoy the game finally?
A game that missed chances, Arthur, spoiled it a bit for me. If the chances had been taken, the game could have been 4-4 maybe.
Yes.
But as I say, the game's all about taking these chances. Blantyre took the one chance that they really had in the game, and Baillieston must be saying to themselves, well, what have we got to do to score?
I thought that it was rather nice at the end that the Blantyre Vix fans and the players applauded Baillieston up for the runners-up medals. It reflected, although it was a hard game, it reflected a nice atmosphere, David.
Yes, a lot of bookings, but not a dirty game, and I think that the referee must come in for a lot of respect in this game, because he really stamped his name in this game.
Right, Davy Wilson, thank you very much indeed. So there are the happy pictures here at Ibrox Stadium. Just to remind you, your next big live date on this channel is Tuesday the 15th of June. And I don't need to tell you what that game is. It is, of course, from Malaga, the Rosaleda Stadium, Scotland again.